Good morning. Welcome back to this week 8 of the 49er Coffee Talk with Brent Culp and David McNiner. We have a great show for you as always. And we're going to be getting into it. If you didn't see the thumbnail, well, I encourage you to go back, definitely take a look. Please like and subscribe to not just Brent Culp, but to David McNiner as well. It's kind of like a Batman and Robin thing. Sometimes you'll see me, sometimes you'll see him. We're going to let you think, and we're going to let you guess on your own who's Batman and who's Robin. And we're just going to let you ponder the yonder. But hey, it's Halloween. It's getting closer. So shout out to everybody who's going to be going trick or treating or doing anything. I bought a bag of candy, and I don't know if it's going to get passed out to the trick or treaters because I have kids, and I definitely will be going out, and we will be terrorizing the streets. We will be out and about. But that pound of candy that I bought, we've had to attack it a little bit. We've definitely taken a dent in it. So, David, have you went to the store? Have you gotten any trick or treat candy? Or are you suspecting a big turnout around your place? Or what's your thoughts on the whole Halloween speculation? When I was a little bit younger, I loved Halloween, but COVID kind of taken a really big impact to it. It took a hit, and with COVID happening, I think it kind of killed Halloween. And I don't know if Halloween has really recovered from it. So I'm out here in California. I know you're back there, and for me, I might have had one trick or treater on my entire block, and I don't have necessarily the nicest block. We have a block with basically houses on one side of the street, and there's an apartment complex on the other side that is just a bunch of college students. So for my neighborhood, we don't have a lot of younger folks. I'm probably the only house besides my parents who have children. So parents live down the street. It's pretty nice on my block, I think. But David, around your area, I know you're around some. I think you're around some Mormons. So are you going to be expecting any trick or treaters this Halloween?
Every Halloween, I'm only guaranteed 9 kids, and we're on like a dead end street. So, and 8 of those kids live right next door to me. You know, they occasionally come raid my house, and chaos and mayhem erupts. But that's fine. They're good kids. And then we have Megan, the Down syndrome, youngin from down the street. She'll come up and get some candy from me. But that's all I'm guaranteed. Most of the people around here actually do this trunk or treat thing, where they're
Okay.
like, on social media, they'll set up that this is where we're holding the trunk and treat on this day in a parking lot, and everyone will show up with their cars. Will pop their trunks, and that's how they do that's how they do it. It's just something, and this has been going on like since COVID hit. It actually has gotten way big. No one hardly ever gets trick or treaters at their house anymore. So kind of
Yeah.
sad.
You know, um, I've seen the memes, and I've actually went to people's houses, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have anything right now," and then they went to their cabinet, or they went and then they tried to find something, and they're like, "I have had a wild, I don't know, trick or treat experience. I have gotten a top ramen or two. There's been times where we've went walking down the street, and my dad's not a big drinker, but walking down the street, people are very friendly. They're having fun. Halloween's one of the for me, it's one of my favorite holidays of the year. Really, truly, you get to watch movies, spend it around with your family. You can go to parties, but we were walking down trick or treating, and the guy's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And asked my dad. He wants a beer. My dad, he didn't want a beer, but it's like those are the vibes. It's like everybody's starting. They loosen up a little bit. It's more about a community. It's more about, hey, I used to go trick or treating. I'm going to give back. And now being older, you know, um, I know it's my time right now to go around and take my little ones out. But yes, when I get older, I definitely would love to see the whole Halloween experience continue. And if I can keep passing out a candy, something sweet here or there, then I'm going to do it. But the top ramens, if anyone's ever given away a top ramen, shame on you. And I know who you are. And if someone egged your house, it's not good to egg people's houses, but you might have deserved it just a little bit, especially if it was the shrimp flavor. I'm just saying. Yeah. So all right, so we got Tony in the house, we got Raphael in the house, and it's NFL Weekend 8. David, we got the schedule in front of us. We got some injuries. It sounds like Trent Williams isn't playing. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are we should just sit him until after the bye week anyway. Why even working him out and see if he can go? It's a pretty, at this point we need to win games to stay in the hunt for the number 1 seed. But at the same time, think about the long run. Having Trent healthy is a big benefit to us down the stretch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even play Brock Purdy. I would sit him, Sam Area, and I don't care what anybody says. We can win one game with Sam Darnold. I mean, for heaven's sake, look at the team we have.
We most definitely could. We could win with Sam. We could lose with Sam. But I think the point you made is to stay in hunt with the Eagles. I think what's most important is to stay healthy. If we lose a game here or there, okay, right? If everybody's healthy, then you're like, okay, do we not have the talent? Is something not right? But if you win all the games and you go in to being the number 1 seed and you're not healthy, and then somebody lower, who shouldn't beat you comes in who is healthy, is that fair? Is that really giving I'd rather go into it being the second, even potentially 3rd or 4th seed, but being healthy and knowing we're the best team and we know we're the best team. And so if they have to sit, because I think you just said it, I don't think Purdy is sitting. I think he's going to be playing this game. I would sit him too, David. I would sit him too. So Trent Williams, Deebo, they're out, and we got a bye week coming up. We're going to be playing the Bengals, who are coming off a bye week. This game's going to get very, very interesting very quick because the Bengals are hungry. Are they 3-3 or 3-4 right now? I think they're 3-4. And yeah, they're 3-4. No, they're 3-3 because they had a bye week.
Yeah, they're 3-3 because they had a bye week.
So this is gonna turn out to be and good morning, Damian Lee. This is gonna turn out to be a nail biter if the game it turns out to be very close. Both teams need this win, and I think the difference between us is we can't afford to lose it if we want to stay in number 1 position, right? But the Bengals can't afford to lose this game at all. The Bengals are going to be scraping for every win the rest of the season. Everybody in the North is winning. Everybody made fun of the Steelers after we played them, but the Steelers keep winning. The Browns, we said flush it down. Well, they wiped us off the field, didn't they? And then you got the Ravens, the Purple Chickens, who seem to be like the most unhealthiest team out there, who keep winning. So how scary good could they be when they're healthy?
Right now, the Ravens and Chiefs look like the best 2 teams in the AFC. A lot of people were picking the Bills before the season started, but they haven't been doing anything spectacular. They're barely beating teams that aren't winning many games. So it is still the first half of the season. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. Now's the time we need to get in mid-season form for our sake, for the sake of not going to that, disgusting stadium in Philadelphia and making everyone come through us.
So it's funny that like we've started out, it's not funny, ha ha, right? It's funny in a weird way. But it's funny that we started out 5-0 and we didn't have a Bosa who played. We haven't really had a ferocious Armstead. Drake Jackson hasn't been completely relevant. we do have Hargrave. He's making some noise. We don't have a healthy Elijah Mitchell. Debo did come into shape, and there was, he did have an injury. Ayuk's had an injury within these 5 games. Now we have a banged up CMC. Kittle came into this season with a groin injury. So, with all these injuries, and I haven't nailed everybody, right? We have a Greenlaw injury. We can keep going, but we've Jake Moody, groin injury, right? Or lower leg injury. Trent Williams now, and we're just finally to week 8, and we're trying to, like you said, hit our stride and get into mid-season form. I don't think we peaked too early. I think maybe we should have won the games we've won, and I don't want to say we've exceeded our expectations, because I think our expectations were to, at this point, be 7-0. But with the injuries, they did catch up to us. I do think that some teams have game planned around us, because we've been doing not the same thing over and over, but we definitely are focalizing and putting CMC at the helm, right? It's like CMC and the 49ers. And I think that's what kind of needs to change. Is it should be the 49ers and CMC, and all these other guys. I don't say, take the ball from his hand, because he is the best player we got on the field, hands down. He's the best player we got on the team. And you can look at, what's happened in the past too. And I know it's not the 90s, but we do have a coach who kind of coaches from the 90s, and his dad won Super Bowls. And that guy, CMC's dad, won Super Bowls in the 90s from the same regime, right? The same duel. So it's almost like we got dads playing football and then telling their sons, this is how you win Super Bowls. And it might not be Ed McCaffrey talking to Mike or Kyle Shanahan, but he's definitely been in his son's ear. Same thing with Mike. Mike has a desk in Levi's. He has an office in Levi's. You don't think Kyle comes up and talks to his dad every once in a while? I mean, come on. I mean, he's a consultant. He's there for a reason. They didn't take Terrell Davis out of the Super Bowl because they knew if they took him out, then they weren't going to win the Super Bowl. They needed TD to be in there. Even if his head hurt so bad and he couldn't have his eyes open on the field, they knew if he just stood in the backfield, and when they said go, if he just ran straight forward, they had an opportunity to use him as a decoy. And the Broncos, what happened, David? They won the Super Bowl. So I would like to see some things correct as well. The defense definitely has seemed to be a little stagnant in points, but you can't really argue and say they've been stagnant or they've been the reason we've lost. When you lose fumbles in the red zone, and this has happened from Brock Purdy and CMC, and they happen, and Debo's lost fumbles. When these things happen, you cannot expect to win. When you have delay of penalties, that's right there is delay of penalties and offensive snaps are not winning football games. Those are the two backbreakers. I think we can deal with the defensive penalties, like the defensive back, defense on the, holding or what I'm talking about. I think we can deal with those penalties, but when the offense puts themselves in a 1st and 10, it goes a 1st and 20, or delay of game, and then it's 5 yards back, or how about intentional grounding? Those things we cannot have. And when you do miss a field goal, it takes momentum away from your team. It does 2 things. When you score either a touchdown or a field goal, you put your kickoff team back out there, and they're hungry and they're fast and they want to run down the field as fast as they can. It's almost demoralizing to have your kick return team on the field. Oh, we're getting the ball. No, the pressure is now behind you. It's on your back. It's on your shoulders to catch the ball, not to fumble, to possibly return this ball for your offense to have a good field position, right? Or you could potentially even flip the script and take it all the way to the house, right? So for this to be the 49ers at this point in the season, I think the injuries have caught up to us. And I think it's just one too many injuries. I think we have the guys on the team. We have Kittle. a healthy Kittle or a healthy Juice, I think can turn around our team. Kittle just 2 games ago had 3 catches for 3 touchdowns. I know we're using him a lot to block, but something's got to change. So I know I've spoken a lot, and I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think we need to do to fix the Niners? Is there a monkey wrench? Is there a C clip that needs to be pushed back on, David? Do we need a new fastener? What's going on?
Well, at this point, it's almost like our coverage in the middle of the field specifically has been a big problem. Which, having Fred Warner and our safeties, you'd figure it wouldn't be, but our nickelback has been quite the weakness. And we put a guy on the practice squad who's lengthy and really isn't that bad, Quintez Knight, and he got picked up by the Cardinals, so that's no longer an option. We currently have Oliver and Thomas kind of splitting reps there, and neither one of them is the answer. We got Sammy Womack, who's on IR. I do not know when he's returning. I was looking into that before the stream, and there's no timetable. At this point, if we make a trade, let's trade for a corner. And if it's a boundary, but we have options though. If it's a boundary corner, let's move Lenore inside. If it's a nickel guy, then we don't have to do that. Either way, we have options. We're a little flexible with who we have playing right now. But our defense, it played really good over the first 5 games. The Browns offense has not been known for putting up points and doing what they did. They were even missing Nick Chubb, who is their best player, and their starting quarterback, and they still put up 350 yards against us. And then Kirk Cousins tore us up for 378 yards without Justin Jefferson. So, yeah, I would definitely like to see an upgrade at nickel. I honestly think, everyone's thinking we need an edge rusher that's like Brian Burns or Danielle Hunter. And a player like that would definitely benefit us, but we do have bigger needs at this point.
That's a good point, because even if you go back to the point where we were playing against the Rams, what was the Rams doing with a rookie wide receiver?
Hitting the middle of the field, quick outs.
They were tearing us up, tearing us up. Good morning, everyone. It's game day, baby. Beto, man,
hey, Beto.
Coming. If you guys don't know about Beto, I don't know where you're at. We got Steve-O also, Crazy Juice, Damian Lee, Jason Niner, Smash Massey, Soli 684. I mean, chat is popping. Hey, we really appreciate y'all. So, David, let's get into this. I'd like to see them get King Henry, and I know you've heard me say that already. And I also think, like what you're saying, as a corner would be really good. I don't necessarily think we need necessarily a defensive tackle, but if I could have my wish, I would get Derrick Henry and Brian Burns, and I would roll with what we got. If you could pick 2 players, who are you going with?
If I could pick 2 players, I would pick Patrick Surtain II, which is going to be expensive. And probably, I would say Derrick Henry, but we just need to give snaps to the guys we already got, that JP Mason guy. I would say Brian Burns, because we need that extra pass. We need the pass rush. And I've been saying last year we used to, put an edge on the inside, and then we'd have 3 guys, 3 edges and 1 defensive, interior lineman, which typically was Armstead, rushing the passer, and that was effective on passing downs. And this year we're actually doing the opposite. We carry 5 interior linemen on the 53. Kalia Davis hasn't been active yet. And then, we carry 4 edge rushers. So at this point, I honestly think John Lynch is exploring a lot of different options. And by the end of tomorrow, we should, we won't hear about who they're actually looking at until it actually happens, folks. Let's be honest. We heard about, the 49ers calling around and feeling out some trades. That was from the other team. That was from the teams we're calling. That wasn't from us. We run a tight ship. We are not the Titanic anymore.
I like it. I really do. So there has been some reports that are saying that we are looking for some upgrades, and you are right. We are definitely they said linebacker. Well, they said edge, and they've also said corners. And I really do think they're going to go after an offensive weapon. I would be happy to see them bring in someone like Henry or Patterson, Patterson
Cordell.
from Cordell Patterson. Thank you, from the Eagles, the Falcons. I think he's listed. He is a wide receiver, but he plays like running back. Correct?
It would be like having a slightly different version of Debo.
Yeah. And I remember when everybody was excited about Debo, they were making noise about him as well. So if they could somehow get him or Kyle Pitts, but I don't know how much the Falcons are actually selling at this point. But we'll just have to see. So guys, let's get into it real quick. We'll run through this. If you guys didn't know, it's Corey Davis's birthday. If you get to see him sometime on social media today or in a stream or something, make sure you say happy birthday to Corey Davis. Turning big 54. We want to get a Niner win. Niner happy birthday for Corey. We've already had Tampa Bay and Buffalo. What's your thoughts, David? We got the Rams and Dallas. We've talked a little bit on this. We'll go back and forth one team at a time.
The Rams and the Cowboys, who I think we're all rooting for both teams to lose, but that can't happen, folks. We can hope for a tie. A tie would help our team.
A tie would help.
But at this point, I picked the Cowboys because they're at home. That's just my personal picks. But the Rams winning would probably help us more than the Rams losing at this junction because of our extra loss. I'm not too worried about the Cowboys moving forward because they still have 2 games against the Eagles, so I fully expect them to split those 2 games with the Eagles, which will help us out. But it's on our shoulders to win games moving forward, right?
You cannot expect another team in the division to lose and help us out. At this point, they are still scrapping, and even Cardinals are still scrapping. Sometime they're going to get Kyler Murray back, and you don't necessarily know when, but it's going to happen. All right, I'll move on with Minnesota and Green Bay. Kirk Cousins came in. He did his thing. I think the game-changing momentum swing was the fumble by CMC because we got the ball. We went down. We were going to score. Even if we would have got 3 points, we were going to score. It just didn't happen the way we wanted it to happen. Then we missed a field goal. But before we did all that, the Vikings got the ball back and went down the field. They seen how we were aggressive with our players. We were playing off with our corners. Our corners were able to jump on a pass and really just snatch it out of somebody's hand. And they said, okay, we're going to match you. We're going to play you. So then at the end of the half, we tried to gamble and we said, hey, you like that? And we went in for it all blitz. And our corner made the play, but their wide receiver saved the day. And he snatched the ball back. And instead of us, just being able to tackle him and get him down with 16 seconds left in the half, clock running out, no, they end up scoring, and guess what happens? I think that was, a portion of the tails that turned the tide, right? Their Minnesota Vikings are now going to be going in for their next possibly 6 to 7 games, and they look favorable. They look scary, and everybody thought, the ship is sinking in Minnesota. They ran into a purple rock or something, right? They're going to be trading Kirk Cousins to the Patriots. They're going to be trading Kirk Cousins. I don't know if they're going to be trading Kirk Cousins, and depending on how the end of this season goes, he might not be leaving at all, even though this is his last season. Why would you root? Why would you mess up a good thing that you got going on, right? So at one point in the game, they were chanting, "Let's go Niners." In Minnesota, going to Green Bay, they will not be chanting, "Let's go Minnesota." They are not going to say the skull chant in Green Bay. It will not happen. There will be a lot of purple in the crowd, but that Green Bay fan base is real, and they are very real. So I would love to see Green Bay win this game because it's a home game for Green Bay, something for love, the season of love to build on. I picked Green Bay to win. I got a feeling Minnesota is going to win. I don't like that at all. David, let me hear your thoughts on Atlanta and Tennessee. It's going to be Atlanta going to Tennessee.
This is a battle of two teams that no one knows what they're going to do. They have multiple personalities. And it's like the Titans, what do they got by way of, running back, right? That they have a running back, quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is not playing his best football. Atlanta seems to be the up and coming team. So I honestly picked them in my pick'ems. And we'll just see what happens. I think they squeak one out by 3 points or less.
Okay, so I'm going to jump to New Orleans and Indianapolis. My wife's taking New Orleans. She thinks that car can drive up there to Indy and it'll be good to go around that racetrack. I am taking Indy because I don't think the tires on that car coming in are all there. I think Derek Carr is a great quarterback, but I don't think his players are on the same, unless they did some, like study buddy, meetings and, had some tutoring and stuff. The cadence that he's saying, these guys aren't understanding. They are veteran players. He's not the veteran on the team. So these guys don't know the system. They don't know the offensive calls, and they're not running the right routes. And they're calling themselves out and laughing about it. They are better than what they are putting on the field, but because they're not being able to execute the plays, you got Derek Carr playing hero ball at the end. I think the guy's a really good quarterback. He's very smart. If he could have went to a team like the Niners, I think, we could be looking at a Super Bowl championship with him back there because the guy don't get hurt. He had one season where he got hurt in the playoffs, and that really hurt him. They switched head coaches, they switched schemes on the guy, and from ever since then, they've had some craziness. They lose key players on defense. They bring in crazy wide receivers, and the guy's just supposed to just like keep it all together, right? Well, he's now out of Oakland, out of Las Vegas, and he is now down probably where the next craziest place you could go to, Mardi Gras, right? He's down there, and he's not a bad quarterback at all. His team needs to, maybe next season they'll be a little bit more fierce of components. But I'm going to take Gardner Minshew. Shout out to Uncle Rico. And if you didn't know, he could throw that steak over that mountain over there. So I'm going with Indy. David, your thoughts on New England and Miami?
New England just stood up and punched Buffalo in the face last week. And Miami, it's like a track team. I mean, they have all the speed guys from around the league, it seems like, all in one place. It's kind of hard to stop. All you can do is hope to contain. Don't try to stop them, just contain them. Or if you have a good tush push, you might be able to get some first downs and, keep them on the sideline. But at this point, I picked the Miami Dolphins at home because Bill Belichick, historically, even if the Dolphins are bad, he doesn't beat them down there.
Well, really quickly, if you guys haven't got a chance to see it, the man of the hour, the man of the day, the man of the year, Mr. Corey Davis. Happy birthday, big buddy, big brother. Happy birthday. I believe it's your 54th. And I will do a short version. And if David wants to do a short version, that's fine. No pressure, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. So if you want to sing along with me, when I say it again at 3, we will do it. You know the words. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday
to you. All right, that's all I'm doing.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Corey.
big shout out to Corey. Happy birthday. Yeah, you know.
We appreciate you for coming through. You know where the link is if you have time and you want to jump on. Yeah, we got everybody here. Merry Escape from the Womb Day, Corey. Happy Naked Day, Corey. Happy Steve-O birthday. Happy Corey Davis from Tony. And yeah, thank you everybody for coming. And Corey, I hope you have a wonderful day. Eat some cake for me or pie for Lily. Lily likes pie on her birthday. So, all right. So I'm going to jump to the next game, and it's the battle for New Jersey. I said it right. You think I didn't? I said it right. New Jersey. We are going to have the New Jersey Jets playing the New Jersey Giants. And it should be the Battle of New York, but they don't necessarily play in New York, right? So let me fix my camera for a second, folks. And I am going to be right here. And I'm going to be right here. As my camera, there it is. I cleaned up my camera. Sorry, folks, it was blurring out on me. So the Battle of New Jersey and the Battle of New Jersey for the Jets and Giants is real. They play in the same stadium. They share the same lockers. I mean, they seriously do. They say, move out of the way during these game days. It's very, very crowded in that locker room. I heard the carpet's blue on one side and green on the other side. So half the guys try to stand, but it's so small. So they have to be, anyways, bad joke. But, and then something funny too about the Jets is like, what happens if you play for the Jets or the Giants or both teams? You end up on the Seahawks. Shout out to Geno Smith. So I'm taking the Jets. I think the Jets are a better team here. I'm going with Saleh. If Aaron Rodgers was playing, it'd be hands down. I think the Giants are better with Tyrod Taylor, but I'm not. I used to really like Danny Dimes, but I think he got shook, and I think the team is just shook away from him. So Tyrod Taylor, again, he's played for like almost every team in New York. He played for the Bills at one time. I think he has a good opportunity to come in and, navigate and take this team down the field. It's going to be a very competitive game, but I'm still taking the Jets, even though it's not a home game for the Jets, but it might as well be. David, your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence, the best hair in the league, and Pittsburgh, the best. Hey, this is great, right? For your best hair, make sure you take care and dry it with a wonderful towel, right? So as the Steelers coming in and handing the towel to Trevor Lawrence so he can take care of his hair and make sure it's all. Or is that just too much? You can let me know.
I don't think the Steelers are going to help Trevor Lawrence with his hair, but he probably has a stylist that travels with him to help him, though. Make that first round, first pick money, and you can afford that, right? But Trevor Sunshine Lawrence going up to the Steel City to play against TJ Watt, and that Mika Fitzpatrick in that defense, I think he's going to have problems. And when it comes to the Steelers offense, they just got to grind out, score some points, take some time off the clock. I see the Steelers winning this game. But yeah, Trevor Sunshine Lawrence, you never know what the Jags are going to do.
All right, so we'll go through this a little quicker. I won't be as funny, or I won't try so hard. We got Philly and Washington coming together. I'd love to see Washington win this game. I'm only taking Washington. I'm only taking Washington because I'd love to see Philly lose. David, your thoughts on Houston and Carolina?
DeMeco Ryans has got that team playing better football than they have in years. I got the Texans beating the Panthers. I honestly think they're the better football team.
We got Cleveland and Seattle. I'm taking Cleveland. I think Seattle could be really, really scary in this game. It's going to be a fight for them, but I don't. I just think. I think the Browns can come in and get it done. Your thoughts on Kansas City and Denver? And before you answer, if they win, I think it's 17 in a row. So go for it.
I picked KC at the Broncos because they're going to be riding away into the sunset with a victory. Yep, Broncos just not a good football team.
Woo! Yeah, if they win, that's like 17 in a row. So I don't mind streaks being broken, but sometimes sometimes it's fun to see things continue on, especially when it's not against your team, right? And we
Yep.
got all these birthday shout outs in here. Bebop coming in with the birthday shout out. Kelly Stafford's our new tackle. Oh no, hey, she might be good at it too. Okay, really quickly before we move on, do you have a prediction of how many Taylor Swift sightings will be in the game?
Oh
All right.
man.
She's getting a little bit too much camera time, ain't she? We got Nathan Z coming in. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you for the happy birthday wishes for Corey. Baltimore and Arizona, the purple chickens versus the red chickens. This game could get really, really spicy. It could be teriyaki versus sweet. Is it sweet and sour? Sweet. I don't know. I'm going Baltimore. I think the Cardinals can play a game. I think they can hold it to a very competitive game, but I don't think they're coming away with the W. It would be very surprising to see them lose this game. We got Cincinnati and San Francisco. Your thoughts, David? The game of the week.
Ooh. I honestly think we could end up winning this game. It's not going to be a fun one to watch, folks. It's going to go back and forth. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati wide receivers are really good. Their offensive line is mid. Maybe our defensive line could stand up, and actually get a good pass rush going on and rattle Joe Burrow's cage. But I think game's going to go back and forth, and we're going to end up winning on the last second field goal by Moody. Don't get iced, buddy. Don't get iced.
Man. Oh man. Woo! Did you guys hear it? I think you heard it. I think you heard it right. Let's go, Moody. It's the season of Moody, right? The Moody season. Okay, so we got Chicago, and they are going to be playing the Chargers. And this is funny because I'm really excited to see if that lady shows up again, that fake Viking, fake Charger fan. And yeah, I really like to see her show up. I think she'll be there. And if she's there, take a picture of her, send it to me later on my Twitter or text it to me. I just think it's funny because being in LA, there's a lot of actors, and it's really funny that she was a fan of one team and now is a fan of another team that seems to have no fans. Hey, I'm not saying the Chargers don't have fans. I just know most of them are in San Diego. So now that I've said that, and it's funny too, isn't it, David? Isn't it really funny? Tinfoil hat time, everybody. Get them out. Go to your cabinets, whatever. Get the aluminum foil out. Next episode, we'll show how to build the hat, okay? But get it out, put it on. How come the Rams and the Chargers are in the same stadium? David, what colors do the Rams wear? What color do the Chargers wear?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how they're blue and yellow and white just kind of goes together, isn't it?
I want some answers.
Shout out to that grounds crew, because remember the Rams played a home game and then they had to overnight change everything to Chargers, or I don't remember if it was vice versa. But either way, overnight they had to change everything from one team to the other. But them having similar colors, that's probably really easy. And sharing is caring, folks.
It makes it a little bit more like, hey, why are they? Why is the Raiders there again? Oh, because they wear blue and black and silver. Yeah. Shout out to Tito. Tito is a good buddy of mine, and thank you for coming on the way to the game. Have fun, drive safe. Hopefully get over there early enough to tailgate, take some pictures, send them to me. I got to go to a Bengal game with Tony back in 2014, and it was a lot of fun. It didn't start out the way we wanted to or end the way we wanted to, but it's all about the game day experience. And that's what it is too. Folks, if you look at it, home opener, everybody's there, right? It's going to be a sellout stadium almost every time, right? Well, what about week 2 or like the next home game, right? There's 8, sometimes 9, more sometimes when you have playoff games, right? But if you don't go to the games throughout the season or against those teams that you think, oh, we're just going to beat, that's when we need you. That's when we need you on the field. Is those weird games where you're like, oh man, it's just no. The stands when it's packed, when it's a crowded stadium, David, you know what the electric is. You know what the vibes are. Let's go, right? Got one more game for you. Las Vegas versus Detroit.
It's hard to pick against the Raiders because James Richard Garoppolo just wins. Oh, now honestly, I got the Lions on this one. They're at home. The Raiders haven't done much, and their head coach is from the Patriots tree, and they typically don't do much. So we'll see what ends up happening over there. I don't even know if James Richard Garoppolo is playing or not. It could be Hoyer the Destroyer.
Oh, they better not start Hoyer. Did you get to see the last couple minutes of the game? What happened is they had Hoyer in there the entire game, right? They pull him out. They put the rookie in, or the guy from Carlson, I think. They put the backup quarterback in, the one who should have been playing the entire game, right? He takes them down the field. They score a touchdown. They go for the 2-point conversion. They don't get it. Okay, I understand that. But if you would have let him play the rest of the game, I don't think it would be so lopsided. I really, really, truly don't think it would be so lopsided. So, yeah, Hoyer the Destroyer. You said it right. Tony said it. Detroit versus everybody. And cheap shot at Jimmy
Shout
a
out
little
to Don
bit.
Burr.
But Jimmy does have to stay healthy, and we need him to stay healthy. And we all like Jimmy here. David likes Jimmy. I got 3 Jimmy jerseys, so I am definitely a Jimmy fan. Not gonna say a Jimmy stan, but I'm a fan. Let me get to the chat real quick. We got good morning, Tony and Laura. Thank you for coming. We got Hoyer the Destroyer. She said it right. Aiden O'Connell, thank you so much. Thank you. Jimmy is starting. Hey, shout out. Okay, it looks like. Now we got Jason right here. Jimmy, stay healthy. Yep. Jimmy, come back. No, don't come back to our team. But you need to stay out of the Raiders. Bears man handled Raiders. All right. So now the myth, the legend. Please, everybody, before we go, like Sully right here is just done. Drop your score. Drop your score. Please, please, please. But in the meantime,
I hope that's correct.
We have a special visitor. You guys, if you haven't said it already, please flood the chat. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the lockdown, Corey Davis.
Hello.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Thank you.
Birthday boy. We got him coming. We got him coming.
I just want to hop on here and say thank you to everybody for my birthday wishes in the chat and y'all.
We appreciate you. We really do. We're just about out of here, but we'll ask you your thoughts. We'll ask you your thoughts on the game of the week. And if you guys didn't know, I believe you can find Corey later streaming the game. And it will be, once again, the game of the week. So what's your thoughts on the Niners letting the Cincinnati Bengals come into play?
I'm nervous about this game. Yes. I'm wondering if the real 49ers coming into play or is it the high school 49ers coming to play? How we going to do? How is Brock Purdy kind of nervous about playing him? Because I don't want him to get, I don't trust Sam Darnold, but I'd rather not lose Brock Purdy for a whole season, 4 or 5 games, because how concussions can go. One little hit can cause it come back real fast. Plus, when you just got over one. So I know my doctors, when I had a concussion after my bike accident, they told me, don't be hitting in the head. Please try to keep people from hitting you in the head. And yes, I'm kind of nervous about that. But I hope we win. Plus, for my birthday. Yay!
Yeah. I'd like to see a really, really nice score for your birthday. I'm dropping my chat. I'm being a little bit funny. He said 30-24. We have where was it? I'm so sorry. Sully 684. He says Niners 33, Bengals 19. I'd love to see that. Tony says 30-24. And I'm just being funny here, but I'd love to see it. I like good games, right? Nice hard hitting, nice games, some defensive stops. Before we have had some really low scores with them. I say 9-0. Let's go win it, right? And let's grind this.
That is a boring game.
Let's grind this game out. Let's see CMC get like 200 yards rushing. But those Bengals, I heard those Bengals, they got some stripes, and they're pretty scary. So maybe they hold us out of the red zone. Maybe they keep us from scoring. But with that big leg of Jake, that's what I'm saying. 9-0. Don't hold me to it, folks. Don't burn me, or if it does happen, I'm not.
I say 31-21.
21-24, 21-28.
31-21.
Okay.
I'm not doing a score prediction. I would take 9-0 though. 100%. I'd take the W. I don't care how we get it. I just want the W.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that kind of game. That's boring.
I think we're going to be watching one of those painful games. One of those games that's not all relaxing. We're up 3 scores. No, it's not going to be that.
No, it's definitely going to be a shootout, I believe, and definitely be looking forward to talking to you all folks later about it. And again, go check out Corey Davis later when he goes live. He'll be streaming it, and we'll be back later with some reactions. And you always know how to find us on Mondays, and just tune in. We really all appreciate you guys. Guys, have a very, very safe Halloween. Trick or treat if you want to. Pass out candy. Please, no top ramen. That's not funny at all, especially the shrimp flavor. And with that, we're going to get out of here. The games have started. And happy birthday once again, Corey. And with that, guys, we're going to see you. Hope you subscribe, share, tell a friend, and we'll see you guys again next time. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners. FOMs. I hoping for a tie.
Go tying.